an uncertain future. After defeated Anderhold, the Land's forces regrouped at Chilwyn Camp to reflect on the events that just transpired. Forsaken control of the city, things do not look good for the future of Lordaeron as a kingdom for the living.
That was too close. Are we sure the Forsaken won't pursue us here? I'm surprised as many of us got out.
We were able to severely deplete their forces. They'll have to consolidate. The loss of a Valkyr will limit the Forsaken's numbers in the future.
What about Kandor? They never made it to the southern bridge. Where are they?
Perhaps they were able to escape via another path. One can only hope. Kandor's determination won't allow him to give up so easily. I have no doubt he is currently somewhere north plotting his next move.
My king, what are your orders? The army, what do I tell them?
I didn't think we would lose.
Son, your siblings want their big brother the Regent to come and bid them good night. You've been here all day. Don't you think it's time for some rest?
It's just hard to sleep Mother, since he's been gone so long. I'm not sure I'm ready to be king, should the worst come to pass.
We've been in this position before, remember? When he left to reclaim Strandrad. Now look at us. We've created a small part of what Lordaeron once was. Your father wasn't ready either, but it hasn't stopped him from doing us all proud.
I know. You're right, he's probably fine. Tell my brothers and sisters that they can stop playing knights and orcs. I'll see them to bed soon. I pray to the light that it'll be Father doing this again soon.
So Kandor, that really ended on a cliffhanger. It was very kind of abrupt. Like, that's it. I was kind of expecting more of a resolution, even if it was like, oh, you know, what will happen from here? Like Kandor is just literally like, I didn't think I would lose, and that was it. Like it's a he's having a complete crisis of fate, and I know I just kind of expected a bit more of a climax. It feels like, I know, I was expecting more, and I don't want to say I feel let down, but it just... No. Yeah, here it is. So yeah, no, that's it. Huh. Like, I liked the campaign. That final mission was kind of rough. But those Knights of the Silver Hand were like a goddamn chainsaw. They were beautiful. Great sustain on them. Their ability to heal, even if they couldn't heal themselves, it just meant you had to have them in duos, you know? In pairs. And they could sustain each other. They had like a level 2 Holy Light with that upgrade, which is nice. They don't have much mana, so they can't cast it often, but that's why you want to have many of them. Means they take less damage by having multiple targets take hits, and that they can kill enemies faster. That's weird. Just makes that sound once in a while. Then having Kandor there to heal people and, you know, sustain. You know, there's great synergy, and it really makes up for, you know, whatever weaknesses they have. But, sorry, mine's drifting. Like, I really liked the Knights of Silverhand. They were solid. And the last mission was a bit rough, but it was nowhere near as bad as, say, the last mission of the previous campaign, Lordaeron's Legacy. nowhere near as rough as that. But again, that had kind of glitched out with the version increases. Warcraft 3 is very mean about like version compatibility. With StarCraft 2, beyond like cutscenes getting fucked, from what I hear, like you can play any custom campaign in StarCraft 2 on any version of StarCraft 2 past like the custom campaign's creation, and you're fine. Cutscenes may get fucked, but the actual gameplay is fine. Warcraft 3, the campaign may not run, it may run, but may be weird, new bugs in the AI. You know, there's lists of compatibility issues between campaign versions. It's disgusting. So that one was jacked because of that campaign version. So this was better on that front. Money in the campaign is typically exceedingly tight. You can really feel it on House of Barov, where like you only get one gold mine, and you like pretty much inherently will run out of money before you can actually finish that base off. You have to have the scepter. You cannot not have the scepter. You're like fucked without it. And same with Showmance. You'll be fucked if you didn't have the scepter. Completely. It's such a major item. Maybe that's why I keep hearing that sound. It's that drawbridge hiring an Oran. It just feels like I'm coming. It keeps glitching out and playing the menu music again, and that menu sound effect again and again. So it's just off-putting. But okay. Overall, I like the campaign. AI voices, they let it down. Writing-wise, it seems fine, but it's kind of hard to judge the writing. Some of the lines sounded weaker, or stilted, or off compared to the rest of them, or anything in the previous campaign. But that's quite possibly because of the delivery of the AI voices. Quite possibly. I have nothing against AI voices. I think it can serve utility. Yeah, it's in time with that. AI voices can serve a utility. They can serve a function, but that's distracting. AI voices can serve a utility. They can serve a function, but they have to be good. Like any voice acting, they have to be good, and these are a bit weak. Some of the voices are fine. Like Kandor's voice is fine. Delivery is on some bits are questionable, but he is fine. The Field Marshal, no, the voice is poor, and as is delivery, it's one of the weakest. Istan, I'm not a fan of. You know, sometimes he's okay, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of him. So yeah, I on principle have nothing against AI voices. I think they serve a valid utility, but it depends on the quality of them. And these are some of the weaker ones I've heard. Like some of the voices themselves are fine. Like I like Kandor, the sound of Kandor, and generally his like stuff is fine. But Istan's one of the weaker ones, with Field Marshal being the weakest. Tessarian is a bit weak as well. It felt kind of like he like in that first cutscene with him, like he had 2-3 different voices. Which would kind of work if it was the idea of him having multiple souls stuck in him, kind of thing. But no, it's just one dude. So, yeah. But yeah, my ultimate point here is the epilogue really is just throws you in a lurch. Like, it's an uncertain future, certainly. And it just feels like a major cliffhanger. Like, you very, like, it's just like, God, I'm surprised as many of us got out as we did. You know, where's Kandor? Oh, I'm sure he's up north, you know, plotting his next move. And he's up north and he's completely shaken. He's entirely lost. It's been a terrible defeat for him. He's trapped behind enemy lines. He's in a bad position. Then his family's like, his son's like, I'm not ready to be king. And, you see that Kandor did have a home wife. He already does have a queen. Since we hadn't seen her before, I was wondering, did he have a queen or was she dead? But she was, as far as he was concerned, she was his queen. She may have died before he became king, but she's his queen. Like, he's loyal to her even in death, kind of thing. Like, if he suddenly declared himself emperor, she'll be his empress, even if she's been gone 20 years. There's a beauty in that kind of idea. But, yeah, it really leaves you in the lurch, and it's a hell of a cliffhanger. Made worse for the fact that Cander's plotline is done. Done, as far as I understand. Footman 16 has moved on to doing a... Well, he did another campaign set back during the Third War. So, prior to Cataclysm, prior to Wrath, Burning Crusade, you know, back during Warcraft 3, he's doing a campaign. And then he's moved on to doing a campaign about the Worgen. And as far as I know, he's using just canon characters now, not original ones. So Kander is kind of an original one. We may never get more Kander. And I'm sad for that. Because I have liked him. I have liked these campaigns. As much as I end up tilting in the previous one, I have ended up liking it. It's solid. Okay. I'm going to try and sum up what I think of the campaign so far. I'm kind of all over the place here, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of, you know, flow of thought. I've liked the campaign so far, while Lordaeron's legacy has been kind of fucked by the version issues. Destiny's been fun, though I will say Footman 16 style seems to be a cash-strapped kind of thing, where you have very little money, maybe a single gold mine, 16 grand, and you have to beat the mission in that. And given the difficulty of the mission, like that could be fine on a weaker mission, an easier mission, but given the difficulty of it, it pushes a higher level of gameplay. You can't just keep flowing in reinforcements, you have to work with a smaller crew to accomplish a greater feat. And that's a harder thing to balance. You have less leeway on everything, so it's just a harder thing to balance. But, yeah, give me a second. Hey folks, and I've returned. I can't remember exactly where I was. I've only been gone a moment, but still, my mind's blanked. Yeah, I was saying about the balance of it. Yeah, it's harder to, like, given the difficulty of the missions, it being cast-strapped pushes a further harder gameplay because of the limited resources. Like, the missions will be difficult in their own right, but then further limiting your resources it makes it harder in a different way, pushing a higher level gameplay, or pushing for more skill, making it harder to balance and easier to make it a real ball bust. But in general, I find Destiny's turned out better. Legacy, it's hard to judge given the version issues, but it was a much rougher campaign. Maybe primarily because of them, it's hard to know. But I've enjoyed Destiny. And yeah, I don't really know where to go from here. If you liked what you saw, go give it a try yourself. The only thing I feel let down by is that epilogue. It really is abrupt. Because you see the other guys being like, God, I'm surprised as many of us got out as we could. Where's Kander? Sure, he's plotting. And then you see Kander and he's had a complete break in it. He's completely, like, stumped. He's like, I didn't think I would lose. And then you see his family, a bit of his home life. Seems he's a good father. And, like, he tucks the kids in. I know, you see so much, I was going to call him Stannis. You see so much Kander, he doesn't seem the type. He just seems, you know, hard man, you know. Not necessarily the guy to tuck the kids in. But, you know, he's got layers, like an onion. But, and it just ends on that note. Maybe maybe it's ended perfectly. Like, it's meant to be an uncertain future, to leave things up in the air, like, oh, what way it's gonna go, and keep making it as abrupt as it is gets that feeling across. But god, do I hate being left in the lurch like that. Especially since, like I said, I don't think we're gonna see more Candor. Footman16 has been saying about, like, the idea of redoing Destiny and Legacy, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that means he would ever go back and do a continuation to it, something after Destiny. So, but the thing I was saying was during remember the Showman's fight? You actually get given devotees if you have none left at the start of the teleportation phase. That's nice. I'm trying to have a look here to see if Footman 16's commented anything else, but I'm not seeing anything. For some reason, it's very very slow to load. It seems to be a reality of Hive Workshop. Maybe their servers are down. Oh, there we go. Oh, there was actually, I missed this whole thing. Key for the outhouse is obtained from the Wandering Skeleton after you kill the unique ghoul. It then drops the key for the chest. It hasn't changed. Okay. Yeah, I missed a few things. So, whoops. Oh. Oh, that sucks. Apparently Istin can sell his items. And Tessarion doesn't keep them if you give him any in Chapter 9. Shouldn't be relevant, though, as long as you're doing it, you know, well. Like, you really want to, you really don't want them engaging anyone in Chapter 10. Apparently there was some reward for killing the Valkyr on the previous mission, but it was apparently kind of worthless because it's just like an item. So there's apparently no real point in getting it. What the item is, the person here didn't say. So like, I really hoped it would mean the enemy units is slow. Like the Forsaken stop flinging quite as many goons at you. Oh, fuck. Apparently paralysis, at least at one point, his splash ability could harm your units. Yeah, maybe it would have been easier if I pulled more, if I'd made more devotees earlier. But, hmm. Huh, apparently there's a Scar Crusader in the Anderhall chapter. Oh yeah, remember the guy who just wanted peace? He's meant to say something, say different things every time you go up to him, but he only said something when I killed him, attacked him. Yeah, at least back in 2024, he's no plans to continue Cander's Tale. And because he's other things he wants to do, and it's just like, that really sucks, because he ended on such a cliffhanger. So yeah. So yeah, no, he hasn't said anything else since, so I'll just have to assume that still stands. That he still has no plans on continuing Cander's storyline, which is a shame because I really do. I am damn well interested, and that cliffhanger has me. Fuck! What am I saying? Happy Foot's Day. um, oh, fuck. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought there entirely. Let me check. Okay. So yeah, well that's like a 2024 post. There doesn't seem to be any more recent. It seems that's still his plan not to continue Cander's storyline, which sucks, as I rather did enjoy it, and that cliffhanger really has me interested in seeing more, you know? Seeing where it goes from there, you know? It's kind of a kick in the teeth, really. I'm wounded. But anyway, so that has been Lordaeron's Destiny. Next will be the revamped version of Lordaeron's Legacy, Maybe. I feel I should do it, because there is a lot of changes between the OG one and the revamp, and the revamp is hopefully easier. Certainly, the Dreadguard are no longer magical, are no longer magic immune. They are much more akin to what we fight here, and what we fight here are a hell of a lot weaker. I won't say that they just aren't as stompy a unit, it's like stat-wise, but the fact that they aren't magic immune means Kandor can war stomp, do heavy damage, and stun them. So they, even if they are the same stat level, you are doing a fair chunk of damage to them through the stomp, and you're stunning them so they can do less damage. They'll feel a lot different, even if they're the same, like, same stat level, you know? They'll feel a hell of a lot different. So, yeah, it'll be nice to actually be able to finish Lordaeron's Legacy. But then after that, we'll be hitting up, what's it called? Resources, maps. The Path to Valor. It's his Third War campaign. Set during the Third War, the Path to Valor tells the story of the Kingdom of Stromgarde. This kingdom was one of many to fight against the Horde in the Second War. But in following years, they would leave the Alliance and begin to lose their power and strength. By the time of World of Warcraft, Stromgarde has become a shell of its former self, with only the League of Arathor fighting to restore it. But how did its once mighty nation fall so far in the years since the Third War? The Path to Valor will show what was happening elsewhere in the world during the Reign of Chaos, and answer some questions as well as show some of the events of the Chronicles, books, and WoW in Warcraft 3. Hey folks, sorry about that. Where was I? I kind of hate the Chronicles books. Initially, like, my understanding of them was they were lore Bibles. I'm not sure if that's what they were sold as, but that was my understanding. Then it turns out that no, they're actually the works of biased, dirty scribes. And so, while they will be pitched as sold to you as lore books, at any moment, Blizzard can entirely retcon out whatever is listed within those books. It's much like the expanded novels and the game itself and everything. Nothing is actually ever set in stone. You may go kill Onyxia, but no. Varian Rin did that. Oh, I killed Nefarian. No, the Horde did that. It's obnoxious, and the Chronicles are just yet not aware of it. Certainly, the Chronicles apparently during Battle for Azeroth listed the entire Alliance war campaign happening before the Horde war campaign, but even though there's interplay between the two. They had people who did not know the WoW lore writing these books. But to be honest, even the OG staff didn't know the WoW lore. They retconned things at a moment's notice. They didn't see things as a world to work with, or they didn't see the setting as some set in stone. They saw it as something exceedingly malleable that they could change that they felt like, and it's something of great frustration to me. Because it's just hard to be invested in a story when anything you read or see or do or enjoy can be just ignored and thrown away at a moment's notice. It's beyond frustrating. And the Chronicles are just yet another part of it. Again, I've talked about it before at at length, about like an idea of a revamp of WoW where like there is a actual proper campaign to it. When you do a quest for the Alliance, that's canon that the Alliance did that. That's canon for the Alliance. When you do a neutral quest, then that's just a neutral quest. An adventurer aided this individual. Since you're an adventurer, that could be you, you know? That person was aided, is the lore statement. You know? You could even go so far as to have like a RuneScape-like thing of, if you want to do this quest, you have to go over there and do this other quest first. You know, have it gated. And have it just be clear that, yeah, you have to go to Silithus and do this level 50 quest. If you want to go do this quest over here. You know, outright say it like they do in RuneScape. Or you could do two versions of a quest, where one where the character acknowledges, like, you helped me before, want to help me again? Or like you aren't the person who helped them, so the goblins, say if it's a goblin, you got items for them before, they turn up again later and need help with their experiment again, and it's just like, where is that adventure when you need him? Hey, you, want to help me with something? And then it goes from there, you know. There's like, could do it that way, could do it another way, but actually having a continuity to it, actually having a clear story of what happens, rather than like, oh yeah, you did this quest. Like Duskwood. Remember the teacher that was obsessed with one of his students and murdered her whole family because she wasn't into it? And you go around investigating, then you kill him, he's undead because the whole place is fucking cursed. Then they bring him back in Kata, but he's a werewolf now. They just rehashed that whole... They neutered that whole quest line and rehashed it, decanonizing what you did before. You know? That's frustrating. You know? So it's just... yeah, it's a wet dream of mine. That's the only place where it would fucking happen. Where was I? Is to do a revamp of WoW with a clear continuity. Clear universe to it, you know? I really like that idea. So, like you say, if a certain dungeon is given to the Horde, the Alliance may have their own version. Or there's a non-canon version, like say a follow-up, where you can see what happens after, but your presence isn't canon. And even then, the Alliance can still do the Horde version to see the Horde side. Because, like, I dislike the idea of dungeons, raids being gated to one faction or another. Really wouldn't work with, like, only one raid per tier kind of thing. You'd have to have 2 raids, and that's a lot of extra development work and whatnot on many levels. So, both factions can do it, but it'll be clear that it's canon to one side or the other. And maybe have a follow-up for the other side, where they get something. You know. Because as they are in WoW, both sides get to do a raid, but then it turns out 10 years later that you never did it. Or a week later, oh no, it's for the other side. Just the rug pull feels annoying. Pisses me off, you know? Pisses me right off. As does this. See, there, it's overlaying on the F. Make it a bit bigger, give it its own space. Disgusting. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed Lordaeron's Destiny. I shake my fist impotently in the direction of Footman 16. Like, god damn it. I really do wish I really do wish there's going to be a follow-up to Kander's story, but there's no plans on it. I really do want to see where it goes. I was interested. I really was. But anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed, and I do hope you join me again soon. Till then.